Hello, Pisces. Welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm so excited to have you joining me. We are going to just dive straight in with your reading today. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. I am so happy to have you. These are all general readings, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Also, I never mentioned this, but I feel like I should. These readings are good for anyone with a major Pisces placement. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, even really North Node, or even your Midhaven. But anyway, all right. And also, of course, good for the Pisces cross watchers. Put yourself where you belong and only take what resonates. Don't make anything work and don't make anything try to fit too much. All right, here we go. For Pisces, please, Spirit. For Pisces, what message do you have for Pisces today? For Pisces, what messages do you have for Pisces? What does Pisces need to know and love? All right, Pisces. Wow. Okay, Pisces, you have love without condition on the bottom of the deck. And then you have challenge your perception, very hangman kind of energy. And then you have focus and then act. And I am really taken with these swords. I remember, I think it was yesterday's reading where the Ace of Swords, it felt so powerful. It felt like taking action directly, like guided by your crown chakra, by that high priestess energy. And I'm feeling that same energy here. Our perception is definitely colored by our experiences, by our past, right? If it is normally our experience where things don't work out for us, then our perception is this probably isn't going to work out for us. Just even we're bringing that in the energy. That's part of, the smudge on the lens that we're viewing life from. And so, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, what happens when we tell ourselves, what if it does work out? What if it all does go perfectly? What if it's better than you thought it could be? What if it's more than your imagination could even comprehend or even create? There is something here where it is like, I'm really drawn to these wings, where it's like we're tapping into our own limitlessness here with whatever we're facing. And it feels like it's some kind of opportunity in love. And it's it feels safe. It feels good. So there is this connection where it is like, what I'm getting from this card is like making sure that something is really truly in alignment with what we want, where we're going, how we feel about ourselves, how we see ourselves, what we're looking for in a relationship or in another person. Are our truths the same? Just is this in alignment with where I'm trying to go? Is this in alignment with my sense of health and well-being? Or is this in alignment with my sense of, pain and suffering from my past? It's like, give yourself this moment, almost like a hangman pause, to just sort of get very clear with yourself. Like, there's no rush to take action here. It is a careful kind of consideration type moment here. So let's see what this is about. Let's dive into this Lenormand deck. What do we have here for Pisces? What is this that Pisces is dealing with? Wow. Yeah, this is about choices. Oh my gosh, this so reminds me of yesterday's reading. I think it was yesterday's reading. I never really know. Actually, I think it came out like this. Whoa. There's this sense of choice. You're at a crossroads. And is this choice going to be based on what could go right or what could go wrong? With the whip and the cross, it's like sometimes we have a tendency you know, we have a tendency sometimes to choose from a space of our own suffering, some kind of burden that we have been carrying. And it sort of almost feels to me like you have this opportunity to set down this burden or this burdensome cycle and choose abundance, choose it all to work out beautifully here at this time. But it is your choice, and your choice is reflectant upon your perception of what this is about, of what is available to you. And your free will choices are a reflection of your health and well-being. They're a reflection of, you know, where the frequency and the vibration that you're in when you make them. And so there's kind of this energy of just pausing and kind of feeling yourself out. Am I making this choice from a space of fear? Am I making this choice from a space of love? Am I making this choice from a space of 8-year-old me? Or am I making it from a space of 49-year-old me? Or, you know, like whatever. There's just this energy of we have an opportunity to have a very different experience. It's like, what if it all does work out? What would you choose if you knew you couldn't fail? You have some messages coming in. You have some opportunities coming in. You may even have some new connections or relationships coming in. And they do feel like they have the potential to be abundant. In particular, there may be 3 people, 4 people, like some kind of group energy here. You may be one of 4 people, or like there may be 3 new people, or this may be reflective of a friendship that you already have. I'm not sure what this is, but I don't know why I'm so taken. It's a 12, and 12 adds up to 3, and so there's 4 birds on the card, so it could be 3 other people and you. I don't know, could have nothing to do with that, but for some of you I feel like it does. There's something that's flourishing. There's something that has the potential to blossom and bloom, and it involves you and other people, I feel like, or at least one other person, or maybe a group of people. And it feels like it is an opportunity sort of to set yourself free from some kind of burden, some kind of cross that you've been carrying, that is representational of your own suffering, or the things that have kind of been holding you back or sort of keeping you in some type of experience. Okay. And this feels like something that, you know, these people may not be new, but there may be a deepening of the connection, or there may be, you know, there's something coming in here. There may be someone confessing something to you, or someone saying something to you, or you may be watching someone confess something to someone else with someone else. This is just, there's a lot of scenarios here. It's a general reading, and it's just like coming to me in a lot of ways. There could be some kind of group, and then people kind of like within that group, like people having their own person, but then everyone coming together. I have a creative collaborative that I am a part of, and in that creative collaborative there are several people with different skill sets, and kind of we each have our own best friend in that group, kind of a thing, but we all work cohesively as a group. But then we all sort of have that one person that we typically turn to more than other people. And for whatever reason, that's coming up here. So this may be something like that. I don't know, but there's something important happening around this, and some kind of choice that's being made. And the choice that's made is either reflective of a cycle that we're trying to close out, or it's reflective of a new energy of like abundance, and maybe it's all going to be better than I think, you know, rather than it's probably going to go the same way it's always gone. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, this is actually the choice. It's just presenting itself in a different way. And it may be involving a group, or some kind of opportunity that comes towards the group, or something that is happening within the group dynamic. All right. I think I'm going to actually clarify these cards with these cards. Okay, so what can you tell me about this crossroads? Okay. You keep getting this theme, Pisces. You're freeing yourself from some historical cycle. It's sort of like you were born into some kind of cycle, or you have for some period of time there's a cycle that's well established in your life. It's like maybe you get your hopes up, maybe you start getting expectations, and then you're disappointed and things don't work out, and then you're carrying the burden of the disappointment and of the things not working out, and then it's like you step up to the plate again and you're like, okay, maybe this time I'm gonna knock it out of the park. But then it's like we start to get the expectation of knocking it out of the park, and then it doesn't happen, and then it's like the disappointment comes, and then this is something where we have the opportunity to free ourselves from something that we don't enjoy experiencing over and over again. We have the opportunity to sort of take a risk, imagine the possibilities, not get attached to any kind of outcome, not get attached to any real expectation here, but just to roam free without expectation, without history, without, oh, this always goes badly for me in the end, or I've never hit a home run, or it's just never worked out for me. Free of that energy and free of any energy that's too far in the future, or that's too, based on some kind of expectation that ultimately any expectation we have is pretty much almost always going to lead us to a space of disappointment. Almost always. Like, especially attachment to an expectation. That's always going to cause our suffering. So it's just kind of choosing a new way of being and, moving into a situation free of any expectation, free of any past suffering, and the way that would color the way we would approach a new opportunity. Okay. What is this? Okay. Wow. Wow. So there's some kind of breakthrough energy here. Wow. There is some kind of breakthrough energy here with epiphany. There's some kind of realization. There's some kind of understanding. There's some kind of awakening that's happening for you where you're really understanding something about your own dynamic and your own frequency, and the way your own frequency, what it is attracting. And if it's not attracting what you want, how to sort of shift or change that. With the Harmony card here, there's this energy of just being at peace with, if it comes, it comes, if it goes, it goes. Not needing to control it, not needing to inhabit some other space or be someone that we're not, or have some other kind of different experience than the one that we're having. It's just accepting life as it is and as it comes, and realizing that when we do that, life can be its own fantasy. Life can be its own dream. Yes, not every day is going to be like that, but sometimes life is going to surprise us, and it is going to be better than what we could have imagined. And when we start imagining things and we start getting expectations, we start forcing, we start clinging, we start second guessing, we start, grabbing from past experiences and going, is this that? Is this a threat to my expectation or to what I see as being possible? And we start driving something in a direction that it really doesn't need to go. And so this being open and being free to, without expectation and without the burdens of the past, to sort of kind of pen us in, it's a much more enjoyable experience, right? We're able to just take life as it comes and be okay with that. There's definitely some kind of relationship happening here. Yeah, see, okay, you're getting spiritual connection, deep love, soulmate. You have shallow on the bottom of the deck, okay? So there's something here about where it feels like very rarely that you meet someone who can meet you as deeply as you've met yourself. And there is either someone coming in this energy of, a deeper level connection, or there's some kind of opportunity with someone possibly who already exists in this. But there's definitely a heavy emphasis on leaving the past behind and not comparing and not almost sort of becoming overzealous here, because it's like literally I'm getting it's like fine wine. It has to develop over time, and it has to develop in its own way. And the way that it develops is perfect. When it's left to its own kind of thing. It's like you do what you can, you grow the grapes, you tend to the dirt, you tend to the soil, you pick the grapes at the right time, you press the grapes, you get the wine, you put it in the bottle, or the barrel or whatever. I don't know. My dad used to make wine, but I don't know the process. Anyway, the thing is that that you can't, like, as much as you are putting good things into the dirt, or using good dirt, or planting the right grapes in the right place, and doing the best you can to tend to them and help them, whatever was in that dirt, whatever was in that rain, whatever was in those things that you can't control, have an effect on what the end result is. And sometimes the result is something so phenomenal that it's an outstanding year, or it's an outstanding vintage. And sometimes you're like, well, it's not the best, but it's drinkable. You know what I mean? With this spiritual connection with the cross on it, it's sort of trusting the things that we cannot control and trusting the things that we cannot see. And with the shallow card, it's making me feel like the more you try to control the environment, or the more you try to control the dirt, the sun, the rain, the this, the that, the more it doesn't get to develop the full body energy that makes the difference between something that works out spectacularly and something that's just drinkable. Do you get what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. I have no idea when I go on these like little things like that. I'm like, okay. I gotta say what I feel drawn to, There's something coming here for sure, Pisces. Some kind of relationship. It's a deep soul connection. So for some of you, this is something that is coming back around. This may be a spiritual connection that did not get the chance to really develop to its highest and best potential at a past moment. For others of you, it feels like you're focusing on something else. You may be drifting away kind of from some kind of past experience, and there may be something that comes up. Some kind of opportunity, some kind of relationship, some sort of friendship, some sort of relationship that sort of comes up to sort of test almost where we're at with ourselves and our decision-making process. It's kind of like, okay, are we going to, like, we're getting another opportunity with a spiritual connection. Are we going to do what we have historically done? Did we learn from, the way we approach things in the past? Have we grown? Are we seeking growth? Are we seeking, life as it comes, or are we seeking to control things? I feel like you're not looking for this, or I feel like you're not actually focused on this when it comes in. I almost, I was actually watching, there's a painter I just love. His name is Nicholas Wilton, and he has a channel on YouTube called Art to Life or something like that. And I just like listening to him talk. I listen to him a lot when I'm painting. And anyway, he was talking about how sometimes, like, how one time he had he wanted to spend time with his friend, but you know, he produces work for galleries and he has commissions and he has all this stuff, and sometimes he just can't, he just doesn't have time, he has to paint. And so he invited his friend to just come to his studio and hang out and talk to him while he painted. He was like, I gotta paint for like 2 hours, but then we can go for a walk. So the friend came to hang out with him, and he said, you know, painting while hanging out with a friend was a completely different experience for himself, because he was talking and he couldn't get in his head about what he was painting. He couldn't overthink or over process his own work, because, you know, he was actually plugged into this friendship and this conversation. And that's what I'm getting from this sidetrack card. It's like there's something that's getting your attention, or something that has your attention, or there's some other piece or aspect of this. Like, for example, if this is something that's happening in a group, there may be 2 people here who are, you know, having their own conversation that you're aware of. There may be fireworks and sparks for them. And it may sort of take your mind off the fact that there are maybe fireworks or sparks for you also. Or it's something that you're focusing on that is sort of not allowing your mind to go in the same direction it has always gone. And then it's kind of like you're almost lulled into this sense of, how do I want to say, or this could even be like something new, some kind of big change in your life that's happening, to where it's like you're not really looking for love, and then something comes in, some kind of message comes in, some kind of person comes in, and you kind of realize, oh, I'm just sort of out here not really focused in any particular direction when it comes to my love life. But the moment that your mindful awareness comes to it, you have the chance to sort of do what you've always done, or to sort of stay in this energy. It's like, if you're floating on your back, like we had a pool at my house growing up, and I would be floating around in the pool on my back, and my brother would take ice cold pool water and squirt it at me, or like shoot a water gun at me, or like, you know what I mean? Like, he was a little prankster. And immediately my body would tense up, and I would come out of that floating energy and into, defense mode. I got to protect myself, yelling at my brother, chasing him, whatever. And it's kind of that energy. It's like you're just sort of floating. You don't even really realize what's happening. Something's developing, something's happening, and then you become aware of it. And when you become aware of it, how do you respond to it? And so that's where these oracle cards really come in, that are saying challenge your perception and focus and then act. So it's kind of like, do not be reactionary. Do not take yourself out of that floating energy where things are just sort of naturally progressing and happening, to all of a sudden put expectation on it, or all of a sudden bring past burdens into it and need more reassurance, or become anxious, or, you know what I'm saying? It's just sort of like this, the energy is like to go with the flow and to just accept it as it comes and let it come the way that it wants to come. Because with this emotional whirlwind, when we react, it tends to bring chaos. It tends to bring things to a place that that aren't serving our highest and best, and aren't serving the highest and best of the connection, right? So, okay. All right, let's dive into the tarot. So what can you tell me, Spirit, about what this is for Pisces, just in general? What is the general energy around this? There's that Ace of Swords, Pisces. This Ace of Swords, I just have a feeling it's going to be a card that we see a lot. Wow. Okay. Very similar to yesterday's energies here. I feel like it was yesterday. I don't ever know. Okay, you guys, you have the 8 of Wands, you have Judgment, the Knight of Cups, and the 6 of Pentacles kind of coming out in a grouping. That Eight of Wands is similar to this bird's energy. There's some kind of opportunity, some kind of communication, something being spoken here. And I think it's catching you off guard. I think, for some of you, this is not happening right now. This is happening in the future. You may have met this person, or you may like even be sort of having a conversation with this person, but it may not feel like this is definitely love, or this is definitely leading to some long-term relationship here. But there is this equal exchange, or there is this equal participation in the communication, okay? And it feels like this is the development. This is the energy of drifting and being sidetracked, and sort of, this hawk is like mid-flight, right? He was already on a mission when this thing started coming in, so he's already focused on something else, right? Like Nicholas Wilton was focused on that conversation he was having with his friend, rather than actually the act of painting. And so it sort of allowed the painting to develop in a really organic and interesting way that I think he probably was pretty pleased with, because he wasn't in that dense, heavy energy of overthinking it, right? So then you have Judgment, the Knight of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles. And this is, I'm literally seeing this card from the Threads of Fate deck, which is trust. And I think it came out yesterday in your reading. I'm not sure, but it's allowing someone to meet us at reciprocity. And so this requires patience. That bull is giving me Taurus energy. So this could be happening in Taurus season, but it's also the energy of patience, which, Taurans are a fixed earth sign. They are patient. They allow something to develop. I can think of a million stories around this because I've been married to a Taurus for 26 years, but the thing is, there is this energy of, I'm an air sign, so I always want to like with our kids, if we're coming to see them, or, we're doing something fun or exciting, or, something happened, it's like, I just want to call them up and tell them. And my husband will oftentimes say, no, just let them come home and see it when they get here. Just let them be surprised. He likes to underpromise and overdeliver, and I just like to talk about everything and communicate about everything. And that's kind of this energy that I'm getting, is like not being like me, but being more like my husband, and just kind of letting someone experience it, letting someone be surprised by it. Just sort of allowing it to develop. So we already have this reciprocity with the Eight of Wands. There's already like some kind of form of communication happening that is like this equal back and forth. And it may not be really directed in a certain direction, but I don't think you are really focused on that, because I feel like you're focused on something else. With this Taurus energy, or the Six of Pentacles energy, there's this energy of, instead of sort of going, well, I want this to go in a certain direction, and sort of wanting to steer it in that direction, or like wanting to celebrate it, or wanting to be excited about it. It's like, well, let's just see where it goes. Let's just see what happens here. If it stays in this reciprocity that we're experiencing with the communication, like I speak to you, you speak back to me, then, and it translates into kind of like more meaningful action, or into some sort of investment, like it just naturally and organically flows in that direction, right? Then when we follow our heart, it's based on something that's already got like a very balanced playing field. It's not based on expectations. It's not based on me trying to sort of steer something in a direction. It's based on the natural ebb and flow of where it was always headed, or where it was always going, into this sort of very balanced energy. And now I have the opportunity to sort of follow my heart, or to ask myself, okay, do I want to invest emotionally in this? And with Judgment, this is where we begin to have a new experience, something that we haven't experienced in the past. maybe because we haven't allowed it to sort of be what it wants to be, because we've been too focused on the thing itself and not on something else, and this sort of already happening before we realize it's happening kind of energy. But with the Ace of Swords, there is something that we are definitely getting clarity on, and there is definitely an opportunity for success and victory, and it definitely stems from, is based on some form of communication or some sort of like mental, intellectual connection. I'm going to clarify the Eight of Wands for Pisces, please. Wow, Nine of Cups. So we're focused on our own emotional contentment. Queen of Swords. We're in an energy where, yeah, we're not really exploring our emotions. We're not really looking for love. We're more in an energy of self-love. We're more in an energy of maybe even learning or growing, learning a new skill, learning something new. Just sort of being a little bit more head over heart, being very discerning, you know, not even investing in friendships or any kind of relationship that isn't in our highest and best. It's like, I would rather spend time kind of by myself than I would sharing it with someone who's going to bring my vibration down in any way. So we're being very discerning with our time, with our energy. We're not leaking energy all over the place. We're very focused on our own self-contentment, our own emotional contentment. Like, how am I doing? Am I doing well? Am I, fueling my own passions, my own desires? Am I focused on filling my own cup first and then, looking at what's around me? Two aces. Okay, so sometimes when things move slowly, what is it? Idle hands are the devil's workshop or something like that. I'm getting that here. Of course, I'm going to clarify this devil, but so sometimes when things move slowly, our mind can get the best of us. It's when we're like, oh, this really, I want this to move in a certain direction, or if it's not moving in a certain direction, I'm kind of worried about it. Yeah, this is our opportunity here to really have what we want. Oh my God. Okay. So, so like, let's say you like somebody and there's something that's happening there, or there's some form of communication, but maybe it's not going as fast as we think it should go, or they're really taking their time, or it's a very slow kind of thing to develop. Sometimes we'll get in our head and we'll be like, oh, maybe this is going slow because this person is giving to other people, especially if we've been cheated on in the past. We can think that, right? Or if we've dealt with a lot of people that were really players who were really dating like 4 or 5 people at the same time. And then what happens is we get very defensive and we tell ourselves, well, that's not what I want. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm going to pull back. And maybe this person isn't doing that at all. Maybe this person is going slow because they go slow. Maybe you're dealing with someone who's an earth sign or has like their Mars in an earth sign. Maybe you're dealing with a Taurus or someone that has strong Taurus in their chart. They move pretty slowly, and maybe when things are not moving the way that you think they should, or when you sort of go, wow, we've been talking for a long time and nothing's happened, and now I'm starting to have these feelings, and I wonder if this person's having these feelings, and then we start getting anxious, and then we need validation, we need reassurance. We can sort of upset the apple cart. It may be something that's like our Achilles heel and we don't even realize it. Like, we don't even understand that we're sort of doing that to ourselves. We have an opportunity to get clarity on this. We have an opportunity to bring our awareness to it and to sort of change our thoughts, or to sort of clear that thought pattern. Or, once we become aware of something, we can do different, right? Until we're aware of it, we don't know to do different. But there's definitely a new beginning in love, and it's something that's developing slowly over time for whatever reason. And it is probably going to pull up some lower vibrational energies, or some kind of, it almost feels like a trap that we generally fall into, or, you know, some way of thinking that doesn't serve our highest and best, that it's like idle time is the devil's play shop or something like that. I keep getting that. But, you know, trust, that's what I'm getting here. Under that Ace of Swords is the Four of Wands. Like, there is a heavy, there's a spiritual connection here. Okay. Wow, a heavy emphasis on the Nine of Cups energy, focusing on your own happiness. Look at this, Nine of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, the World card. This too shall pass is what I'm really getting. Like, you know, we don't all see things at the same time. And I think I think that is like a little issue for Pisces sometimes, that I've noticed just with my friends that are Pisces, is that you are very intuitive and you're picking up on the seen, the unseen, the spoken, the not spoken. You're able to sort of, you know, read between the lines and see things sometimes faster than other people. Sometimes other people see things more slowly. They see the value, or they see what's there, or they realize that they too have feelings, or that they want this to go in a direction, or that this is going in a direction. And then they're like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm really attracted to Pisces. Pisces is, you know, has this vitality and this energy of being happy, and I'm happy with them. And all of a sudden I'm realizing that Pisces is what I want. So this cycle will come to an end with this person. They will discover it. They will realize it, but it has to be on their own terms. This has to be on their own way. And that is what brings about this sense of real connectedness between you. And it's like, if we try to rush something or we try to force something, we never allow this person to get to this place where they're like, wait a minute, I now know what this is. You've got the Nine of Cups coming out twice and the Star card on the bottom of this deck. There's a lot of talk about wish fulfillment. You and this person want the same thing. Nine of Cups for Pisces, the Hermit. So this is an energy of knowing that you have done the work. You have focused on what you want. There is a sense of celebration, kind of you with you, that happens. Or even there may be people around you. Again, 3 birds here. I don't know, 3 birds. That may be some kind of symbol or sign or synchronicity. 3 birds, I don't know, or 4 birds. You also have the bird here, so there's like 4 birds here. I don't know, 3 or 4 birds, something like that. I don't know. It feels significant, but there's something here where it's like there may be people that can support you, or who will also see it, or will also know it, or will also be anticipating it. Maybe before this person quite really discovers it or realizes it or has mental recognition. Oh yeah, that this is the relationship that they've been looking for. Wow, this is a choice that's reflected of your healing, your patience, your ability to clear your mind, your ability to not get too swept up in, well, I see it. Well, I know it. Well, I have a deep knowing. Well, I don't want to lose this person. Well, I don't want it to go sideways. You know, we still have to let other people come to their own conclusions. And most people are not as tapped into their intuition and are not as tapped into energy and vibration as you are, Pisces. So it takes a little bit longer, especially for a denser, heavier earth energy who wants to see things manifest in reality before they believe it. Where you're like, it's in the ethers. I see it in the ethers. I'm cool with that. That's confirmation enough. You know, other people need other kinds of reassurance before they're ready to take a leap here. I see it happening though. I see this person discovering it. I see this person realizing, holy crap, like I'm in love with Pisces. But your non-forcing energy or whatever, it's a symbol of how you have healed and how you have cleared your mind and how you are seeing things clearly, and your perception is no longer marred by your suffering. I think this card came out yesterday in your reading, possibly, or maybe the day before. Okay, let's keep going. Wow, holy moly. Okay, so Pisces, There's an energy here of where you may be someone who typically holds on to a relationship, or someone who tries to persevere or tries to make things work. And you may typically deal with people who are scared and who make decisions out of fear. And when there's too much time, it's like these thoughts that bring about fear, that bring about anxiety, that need a lot of reassurance, that need a lot of validation, typically show up. The emperor energy, emperors are not guided by fears. You know, emperors have control of their own mind, their own thoughts. You see how he's holding on to that sword there? He is not making his decisions by being reactionary to fear. He is making his decisions based on clarity of thought that comes from releasing fear and trusting the situation, trusting that it will all work out. And again, there's this, is this a dog or a mountain goat or something here, this little white animal? I feel like you do have someone you can confide in, or there is someone that you can talk to about this, that I feel like confirms the clarity that you're seeing, or confirms seeing things the way that you're seeing it. I don't know. I just feel that. You have learned a spiritual lesson. You sure have. Wow. This is the end of a really difficult cycle for you. You with your thoughts in love, you letting your thoughts get the best of you, you letting your thoughts make it more difficult and more draining than it needs to be. This is you trusting the universe, trusting that anything that is meant for you is going to be for you, and that you don't need to force it. You just have to not give up on it with the 9 of Wands, and you have to hold a firm boundary. You can't overgive to try to steer the connection toward what you want it to be. You just have to let someone come to it on their own, and they trust that they will, and they will. 9 of Swords. Oh my gosh, this is what you've been waiting for. This person is not afraid of commitment. They're not. This is a different experience than what you have typically dealt with. Some of you may be dealing with a Taurus with the Hierophant. Some of you may be dealing with an Aries. There's all kinds of energies in here. All the fixed signs are here. But there's, and you also have Scorpio coming out big, but we did just have that Scorpio moon. You also have Aquarius. But with the 3 of Wands, this is about patience. This is about letting things come to you in their own time. And with the Wheel of Fortune and the Hierophant, there is this energy of this time it is different. And the Hierophant being the spiritual gatekeeper, and you coming up with this Page of Pentacles energy, this spiritual lesson that you have learned is changing the outcome, is bringing about a different opportunity, and it is speaking to your higher level vibration and your own like ascension and enlightenment, your own deeper understanding of energy and the world and frequency and the universe and how things work. And it's and the glory of letting something come to you and letting it surprise you and letting it be what you've been seeking without so much having to seek it, and instead just sort of letting it develop over time, like letting it be like the wine aging in the barrel kind of energy. I'm going to go one more round, and then I'm going to pull some comment cards for you, Pisces. But you definitely have something very significant coming in. Wow, the 3 of Wands again. Your champion is coming in. Someone is coming in offering you something that you deeply desire. Yes. Look at this. You got the 3 of Wands again, and you see this bird flying in. You're just patiently here waiting, maybe even focused on something else. Aren't the flowers smelling amazing? Isn't the world such a lovely place? And here comes this person, you know, this energy. I want you. I choose you. The Lover's card energy. What you have been waiting for, to be chosen, to be loved, to be seen, to be heard, to love without condition. Pisces, this coming to you is reflective of the choices that you're making to be discerning, to not give your love to people who are not earning it, to not to allowing people to come to their own space of deep knowing the same way you have, even though I think it takes you a very short amount of time because you are tapped in. I feel like the person that you're dealing with is someone who sort of deals in what they see, what they know, something more dense, you know, rather than I feel it in the ethers, or it came to me in a dream, or there's signs and synchronicities leading me in this direction. You feel what I'm saying? And so your choice to not force something or not steer something or not make up the difference and overgive in a situation is being reflected in what is coming towards you, and the fact that it is choosing you, it is coming to you, it is recognizing you. And when it recognizes the value in you, it is going to invest heavily. Hierophant, Wheel of Fortune, different experience, someone who's not afraid of commitment, someone who does not let fear guide their decisions and their choices, someone you do not have to heal, but someone may be sent to almost sort of heal you or be the reflection of the healed you for all the work that you have done and all the ways that you have focused on your own emotional contentment and prioritize that over all else. All right, Pisces, let me get you some message cards. If you are dealing with a water sign, you're getting, well, we don't share the same values. I'm not over you. I want you. Integrity. Does this situation align with your values and morals? And I left when I saw you with someone. Definitely feels like you got a past person sort of hanging out watching. If you're dealing with a fire sign, I am recovering. I can't do this. Patience, everything will unfold in divine timing. Chemistry, the attraction you feel is mutual. I'm so attracted to you. Healing, old wounds and childhood issues need revisiting. I look for you everywhere. I still have feelings for you. If you're dealing with an earth sign, you're getting, I want to be more than friends. I have too much to lose. I won't let you down. I'm afraid to contact you. You don't know how hard it was to let you go, and do I still have a chance? If you're dealing with an air sign, retreat, time alone or in nature will help you recharge. I still feel the pain. I don't know what, I don't want to know. I don't know how I feel. Unavailable, this person is unable to give you all you deserve. And true love, this love is emotional, physical, and unconditional. Pisces, this is what I have for you today. I really hope it helps. I hope it brings you some peace and clarity. If it does, let me know. Like, share, subscribe. I am going to be doing a test run on my membership. I've been talking to people and I've been told that I can have a membership channel and I can go live on the membership channel. And so I may do that instead of a Zoom meeting. So I will be looking for volunteers of people who wouldn't mind just being on this test run of me trying to do a Facebook Live in like a membership way. So I'm getting really close to being able to offer this, and I'm seeing the structure of it and I'm seeing what can happen, and I'm putting pen to paper. But I am not a technology guru. So just your patience and help would be lovely on this. So if you're interested in volunteering, go ahead and put it in the comments. I will probably pick like 15 to 20 people. Hopefully I get that many. If I don't, I'll probably post in the community tab. All right, you guys. So a lot of exciting things happening and coming. Sip and Paints, and I think I'm gonna choose Warrior of Light by Paulo Coelho to sort of like in this test run. It's very short things, so I can just even share it with you online. But if you have that book or if you're a fan of that book, definitely let me know. All right, you guys, until next time, I'm going to send you off with all my very best. Always, always, always. Love you guys. Bye-bye.